What if I told you that there's one scientifically proven food that can literally turn your body into a fat-burning machine? Without crash diets, hunger, or long fasting windows, most of us have been taught that weight loss requires restriction, constant willpower, or suffering through another plan. But science is starting to show something completely different. What if your body already knows how to burn fat efficiently? It just needs the right signal to switch that process back on. This one food, which researchers call a metabolic activator, does exactly that. It helps your body become more sensitive to insulin, the hormone that controls whether your body stores fat or burns it. When insulin levels stay balanced, your body stops holding on to excess fat around the belly and starts using it for fuel instead. And the amazing thing is, this shift doesn't require extreme dieting or giving up your favorite meals. It happens naturally simply by giving your body the right nutrients at the right time. You'll also learn how this food can help stabilize blood sugar and reduce cravings, so you're not constantly fighting the urge to snack. Inside this single ingredient are compounds that boost thermogenesis, your body's ability to burn calories even while resting. It's like gently turning up your internal thermostat, helping your metabolism work for you instead of against you. By the end of this video, you'll understand how adding this food to your daily routine can help shrink stubborn belly fat, increase your energy, and improve digestion faster than any diet alone. And I'd love to know, have you ever noticed a food that instantly helps you feel lighter, more energized, or less hungry? Share your experience in the comments. Your insight might help someone else on the same journey. When we think about weight loss, most of us imagine counting calories or spending hours exercising. But your body isn't just a simple math equation. It's an intelligent, adaptive system that responds to the signals you give it. One of the most fascinating discoveries in modern nutrition is something called metabolic activation. This is your body's ability to take specific nutrients and literally convert them into energy and heat, a process scientists call thermogenesis. Think of thermogenesis like a spark inside your cells. When it's active, your body doesn't just rely on stored calories. It starts turning those calories into energy at a faster rate. Your metabolism speeds up, and your body begins using stored fat as fuel rather than saving it for later. Now, certain foods naturally contain compounds that act like a match for this process. They light up your metabolism. This isn't magic or marketing hype. It's biochemistry. Inside your cells are small energy factories called mitochondria. When you eat thermogenic foods, specific nutrients send signals to your mitochondria to produce more energy. That process generates heat, and that heat is your body burning calories. Scientists have observed that these foods can increase calorie burn by as much as 10-20% for hours after eating. That means your body continues to burn fat long after you've finished your meal. One of the reasons this specific food is so effective is its unique combination of amino acids, antioxidants, and metabolic activators. Together, they help balance insulin and blood sugar levels, which is critical for fat loss. When insulin is high, your body's signal says, store fat. But when insulin is balanced, that signal flips. It says, burn fat. This shift alone can determine whether your body holds onto weight or lets it go naturally. Think of your metabolism like a dimmer switch. Most people's switches are turned down because of stress, poor sleep, or blood sugar spikes. But when you eat a nutrient-dense, thermogenic food, it's like turning that dimmer switch back up. Suddenly, your cells wake up. Your body temperature rises slightly, your energy improves, and your system begins burning stored fuel again. You feel more alert, more alive, and less trapped in that sluggish, always tired mode. Research in nutritional metabolism has shown that even small doses of these thermogenic compounds can make a measurable difference. One study found that participants who ate this food daily experienced higher resting energy expenditure, meaning they burned more calories even when sitting still. Another study showed improvements in fat oxidation, the process your body uses to break down fat molecules and turn them into energy. And here's what's really interesting: this activation happens instantly. Within minutes of consuming it, your body begins signaling enzymes and hormones that increase heat production and fat mobilization. It's like flipping a metabolic switch from storage to burn. This is why some people notice they feel a gentle warmth or surge of energy after eating it. That's your metabolism coming back online. Now, imagine your body as a hybrid car. Most of the time, it's running on idle mode, saving energy, moving slowly. But when you provide the right type of fuel, That hybrid engine kicks in, combining efficiency with speed. You don't need to push harder or drive longer. You just need better fuel. This food works the same way. It helps your body operate more efficiently, not by forcing it, but by aligning with its natural design. Over time, this consistent activation leads to lasting changes. Your metabolism becomes more flexible, meaning your body can easily switch between burning carbohydrates and burning fat. That flexibility is what keeps you energized, lean, and resilient. It's not about restriction or punishment. It's about teaching your body to function the way it's meant to. When you understand that metabolism isn't something you have to fight, but something you can train, everything changes. You stop fearing food, and you start using it as a tool for healing and balance. This one food acts as that first signal, the metabolic match that reminds your body it already knows how to burn fat efficiently. You're not forcing a new process, you're reigniting an ancient one that's been waiting for the right cue. By learning to activate your metabolism naturally, you step into a new kind of control. One that's based on biology, not willpower. It's not about eating less, it's about eating smarter, giving your body the precise nutrients that tell it to do what it was designed to do all along: burn, restore, and thrive. When people talk about weight loss, they often focus on calories, how much we eat, how much we burn. But one of the biggest factors that determines whether your body stores fat or burns it has nothing to do with calorie counting. It's about hormones, and one in particular, insulin. Insulin is the master regulator of your metabolism. It decides what happens to the food you eat, whether it's stored as fat or used as energy. When insulin levels are steady, your body burns fuel efficiently. But when they spike and crash, you experience energy dips, cravings, and an almost irresistible pull toward sugary or high-carb foods. This is where the power of this specific food comes in. What makes it remarkable isn't just its nutrients. It's how those nutrients talk to your hormones. They help stabilize blood sugar and moderate the release of insulin. Instead of a sharp spike followed by a crash, your blood sugar rises slowly and steadily, providing lasting energy. And when insulin stays balanced, your body doesn't get the signal to store fat. It gets permission to burn it. Think of insulin as a gatekeeper. When you eat something high in refined sugar or processed carbs, that gate swings wide open, flooding your system with glucose. Your body, trying to protect itself, rushes to store the excess as fat. But when you eat something nutrient-dense and insulin-friendly, like this food, the gate opens just enough. Glucose enters your cells at a steady rate, energy stays stable, and you feel calm and focused instead of jittery or sleepy. This food contains compounds that slow down how quickly carbohydrates are broken into glucose. That's important because it prevents the roller coaster effect, the surge of energy followed by the sudden crash. And those crashes are often what trigger emotional eating. When your blood sugar drops, your brain sends out panic signals, urging you to eat something fast and high in sugar. It's not about willpower. It's chemistry. Your body is just trying to find balance again. The beauty of balancing insulin through food is that it creates a ripple effect. When your blood sugar is steady, your mood is steadier too. You feel more grounded, less reactive. You can go longer between meals without feeling desperate for a snack. That's your body in fat burning mode. When it has access to a consistent energy supply, it starts using stored fat as backup fuel instead of screaming for another carb fix. Many people notice that once they add this food into their routine, they start feeling different within days. Mornings feel smoother, the afternoon slump fades. They find they can concentrate better and even sleep more soundly. These changes aren't random. They're the direct result of stable blood sugar and balanced insulin. Every time you eat, you're giving your body a message. You're either saying store or burn. This food helps your body keep hearing burn. To make this concept more tangible, imagine your metabolism as a campfire. When you throw in quick burning paper or twigs, like sugary foods, the fire flares up fast and burns out quickly. You're left with ashes and no warmth. But if you add a slow burning log, something dense, steady, and nutrient-rich, the fire stays strong for hours. That's what happens when you eat this insulin-balancing food. You give your body lasting fuel instead of fleeting sparks. What's empowering about this is how small changes can make a big difference. You don't have to overhaul your diet overnight. You can start by replacing one meal or snack with something that contains this food. Then, simply notice how you feel afterward. Do you feel energized or sluggish? Do you crash an hour later or stay steady? Bringing mindful awareness to those energy patterns teaches you more about your body than any diet rule ever could. The next time you reach for something to eat, pause for a moment and ask, is this going to balance me or spike me? That single question can change your relationship with food. When you choose foods that stabilize insulin, you're not just controlling cravings, you're reshaping how your body uses energy. You move out of the cycle of fatigue and into a rhythm of steady, sustainable energy. What's most fascinating is that this isn't about deprivation at all. You're not cutting things out. You're adding something in, something that supports your biology instead of fighting it. Over time, those stable insulin levels do more than burn fat. They restore balance, your mood, focus, and even your sleep begin to align. You stop chasing energy from food and start creating it naturally from within. That's the quiet power of this food, not just in how it changes your metabolism, but in how it helps you feel human again. Calm, steady, and in control of your own energy. When we eat, our bodies don't just absorb nutrients, they also expend energy to digest, absorb, and process those nutrients. That process itself burns calories, and it has a name, thermogenesis. It literally means heat creation. Every time you eat, your metabolism warms up slightly as your body works to convert food into usable energy. But here's what makes thermogenesis truly fascinating. Some foods require more energy to process than others, creating a natural calorie burning effect. And the specific food we're talking about doesn't just fuel your body, it turns it into a mild fat burning furnace. Imagine your metabolism as a fireplace. Most foods are like damp wood. They burn slowly, producing little heat. But certain thermogenic foods act like dry, seasoned logs. They ignite easily, create warmth, and keep burning for hours. When you eat this kind of food, your body must work harder to break down and metabolize its nutrients, which increases calorie expenditure even when you're sitting still. This is known as a diet-induced thermogenesis, and it can account for up to 10% of your total daily energy burn. The unique nutrient profile of this food contains natural compounds that stimulate the sympathetic nervous system, the same system that revs up your body's energy mode. These compounds tell your mitochondria, the power plants inside your cells, to produce more heat and energy instead of storing fuel as fat. This process is not only about weight loss, it's about metabolic efficiency. Your body becomes better at transforming the food you eat into energy you can actually use instead of leaving you feeling sluggish or heavy. Research has shown that this food can increase thermogenesis by activating a protein called UCP1, uncoupling protein 1, which lives inside brown adipose tissue, also known as brown fat. Unlike regular fat, which stores energy, brown fat burns energy to produce heat. Think of it as your body's built-in calorie burner. When brown fat is activated, it starts using stored fat as fuel, gently raising your core temperature and accelerating fat metabolism. That's why people often report feeling a subtle warmth or boost in alertness after eating thermogenic nutrients. It's your metabolism shifting gears. This process doesn't just happen during a workout, it can happen while you're at rest, working, or even sleeping. That's what makes thermogenesis such an exciting area of research. You're not forcing your body to burn calories through exertion, you're training it to stay metabolically active through intelligent food choices. Over time, this small but consistent increase in energy expenditure compounds, a few extra calories burned each hour, can translate to meaningful changes in body composition across weeks and months. You may have experienced this thermogenic response without realizing it. Maybe after eating a spicy meal or drinking green tea, you felt a mild warmth, your heart rate picked up slightly, or your focus sharpened. That's thermogenesis at work. This food triggers a similar response, but in a more sustainable, balanced way. Instead of overstimulating your system, it supports a steady increase in heat production and energy availability. The result, you feel comfortably warm, mentally alert, and physically lighter. The connection between heat and metabolism isn't just theoretical, it's experiential. When your metabolism is running efficiently, you can feel it. Your hands and feet are warmer, your mind feels clearer, and you experience fewer post-meal crashes. These are subtle signals that your mitochondria are active and your body is efficiently converting nutrients into usable energy. On the flip side, if you often feel cold, fatigued, or mentally foggy after meals, that can be a sign of sluggish metabolism. Your body is storing more than it's burning. Another fascinating part of thermogenesis is how it influences focus and energy. When your body burns fuel efficiently, it provides a steady stream of energy to your brain. You're no longer riding the wave of blood sugar highs and lows. Instead, you get a calm, consistent alertness. That's why many people notice that after eating this food regularly, they not only lose fat, but also feel sharper and more productive. It's a holistic shift. Your body and mind both start to operate in alignment. What's empowering about understanding thermogenesis is that it gives you back a sense of agency. You're not stuck with a slow metabolism. You can teach your body to become more metabolically active by feeding it the right signals. Just as muscles grow stronger when trained, your mitochondria grow more efficient when challenged by thermogenic nutrients. You're essentially conditioning your metabolism to stay in a healthy, energized state, even while resting. This food acts as a catalyst for that transformation. Every time you eat it, you're encouraging your body to generate more energy, to stay warm, to move from storage to activation. Over time, this builds a rhythm where your metabolism works with you, not against you. You'll notice your energy is steadier, your digestion feels smoother, and even your mood stabilizes, because your body is no longer weighed down by sluggish energy conversion. That's the quiet power of thermogenesis, a natural, sustainable way to turn every meal into an opportunity for your body to renew, restore, and burn. It's not about restriction or intensity. It's about working with your body's built-in intelligence to keep that internal fire gently burning all day long. When most people think about fat loss, they imagine scales, calorie counts, and workout routines. But lasting fat loss isn't just about burning more. It's about functioning better. When your digestion, energy, and mood are balanced, your body naturally finds its healthy weight. And that's where this particular food becomes powerful. It doesn't just rev up metabolism. It supports the entire system that metabolism depends on. It's like fixing the engine, not just pressing harder on the gas. One of the most overlooked aspects of weight loss is digestion. If your gut isn't absorbing nutrients properly, your body constantly feels deprived. Even when you're eating enough, that deprivation signal triggers cravings. Your brain goes searching for something quick and satisfying, usually sugar or starch. But when you eat a food that nourishes your gut and helps your body actually use the nutrients you consume, that constant hunger begins to fade. This food does exactly that. It contains natural fibers, enzymes, and bioactive compounds that improve digestion, helping your body break down food more efficiently and extract what it truly needs. You might have noticed how bloating, fatigue, or discomfort after meals can make it harder to stay motivated or mindful with eating choices. When your digestive system is under stress, it's harder to hear your body's real hunger cues. But when digestion feels smooth and comfortable, your eating rhythm naturally evens out. You don't overeat to soothe discomfort or chase energy through caffeine or sugar. Instead, your body starts to feel satisfied with less because it's finally being nourished, not just filled. The nutrients in this food also support the gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria in your intestines that influence everything from metabolism to mood. A healthy gut produces short-chain fatty acids, which improve insulin sensitivity and help regulate appetite hormones like leptin and ghrelin. That means your body becomes more efficient at recognizing when it's truly hungry and when it's had enough. Over time, this helps you eat more intuitively and maintain a comfortable, healthy weight without tracking every bite. Beyond digestion, the energy effects are just as important. You've probably experienced that mid-afternoon slump, that moment when your focus disappears, your eyelids feel heavy, and all you want is coffee or something sweet. Those energy crashes aren't just inconvenient, they're signs that your metabolism is struggling to access fuel consistently. This food helps prevent those dips by stabilizing energy production at the cellular level. Its combination of slow, digesting nutrients and thermogenic compounds gives you a steady, gentle release of energy instead of short bursts followed by fatigue. When your energy is stable, your habits get easier. You're more likely to make thoughtful food choices, less likely to snack mindlessly, and more consistent with movement or exercise. This is where the domino effect begins. Better energy leads to better mood. Better mood leads to better decisions. And over time, those small decisions accumulate into visible change, not because you forced it, but because your biology was finally on your side. Another hidden benefit of this food is how it supports focus and mood. Certain nutrients it contains promote neurotransmitter balance. Chemicals like serotonin and dopamine that affect both your motivation and emotional regulation. When your brain has steady fuel, it doesn't crave stimulation in the form of food or caffeine. Instead, you feel calm, focused, and clear. You're not battling yourself, you're simply aligned. And that's the state in which most sustainable health changes happen. People often report that when they start including this food regularly, they feel lighter, not just physically, but mentally. Their meals digest easily, their energy stays up through the afternoon, and they notice fewer cravings at night. They start sleeping better, waking up more refreshed, and even noticing subtle improvements in skin clarity or inflammation. These changes are all connected. When your metabolism works efficiently, it affects every system in your body. It's easy to underestimate how small habits like this add up. Eating one nutrient-rich, metabolism-supporting food daily may not seem dramatic, but your body doesn't need dramatic. It needs consistency. Each time you nourish it with something that stabilizes insulin, improves digestion, and supports thermogenesis, you're reinforcing a healthier baseline. Over weeks and months, that baseline becomes your new normal. Higher energy, balanced appetite, better mood, and effortless fat loss that doesn't rely on willpower. The best part is that this shift feels natural. You're not restricting or counting or constantly second-guessing yourself. You're simply giving your body what it needs to do what it's designed to do. When digestion flows smoothly, energy stays stable, and mood feels steady, fat loss stops being a battle and becomes a byproduct of health. You start living from a place of nourishment instead of deprivation, and that's where real, lasting change begins. Most people start their weight loss journey believing that success comes from eating less. The logic seems simple. If you reduce calories, you'll lose weight. But biology doesn't work like simple math, it works through communication. When you drastically cut calories, your body doesn't interpret it as progress. It interprets it as a threat. It doesn't know you're trying to lose weight. It thinks you're in a famine. So, to protect you, it slows everything down. Your metabolism, your energy levels, even your mood, hunger increases, focus drops, and fat burning grinds to a halt. This is why so many diets fail, not because people lack discipline, but because their biology is doing exactly what it was designed to do, survive. Your body is intelligent. It constantly monitors signals to decide whether it's safe to burn energy or whether it should store energy for later. Restrictive dieting sends scarcity signals. Food is limited, hold on to fat. That's why people often lose a little weight at first, then hit a plateau or regain it quickly. The metabolism adapts. The more you restrict, the more efficient your body becomes at using less energy. It's like a smartphone switching into low power mode. It conserves every ounce of battery life. Now, imagine doing the opposite. Instead of telling your body there's a shortage, you tell it there's abundance and stability. That's what happens when you eat foods that support insulin balance and thermogenesis. This specific food sends your body a completely different signal. You're safe. You're nourished. You can let go. When your body feels safe, it starts to release stored fat naturally, not as a forced reaction, but as a healthy return to balance. This food doesn't work by depriving you. It works by activating you. Its nutrients communicate directly with your cells to increase energy output, improve fat oxidation, and restore metabolic flexibility. While restrictive diets make your body cling to fat, this food gently teaches it to use fat for fuel. You're not forcing the process. You're partnering with your metabolism. It's a cooperation, not a struggle. Think of your metabolism as a thermostat. Dieting turns the temperature down to conserve energy. Metabolic activation turns it up. The goal isn't to freeze yourself into submission, but to warm your system back to life. When you nourish your body properly, your hormones regulate naturally, insulin levels stabilize, cortisol, the stress hormone, drops, and thyroid activity increases. These are the very systems that crash under strict dieting. By supporting them instead of suppressing them, you create an internal environment where fat loss happens because your body feels safe, not in spite of it. This shift can feel subtle at first. You might notice you're not as hungry between meals, or you feel a steady energy that lasts through the day. Over time, that consistency compounds. You're no longer fighting your appetite or swinging between motivation and burnout. You start trusting your body again, and your body starts trusting you. That trust is what creates lasting results. The truth is, restriction always leads to rebellion. When you tell yourself you can't have something, your mind fixates on it. When you tell your body it's starving, it responds with cravings, fatigue, and frustration. But when you eat in a way that nourishes and energizes, your biology aligns with your goals. This is why this food feels different. It doesn't create tension between what you want and what your body needs. It bridges the gap. You've probably seen how people who diet constantly feel trapped in a cycle of losing and regaining weight. That's not a lack of effort. It's a sign that their metabolism has adapted to restriction. But when they start focusing on nutrient density, balanced hormones, and metabolic activation, everything changes. They eat more satisfying foods, experience fewer cravings, and still lose fat because their bodies finally have permission to burn instead of store. This approach feels lighter, not just physically, but mentally. You're not waking up calculating what you can eat, you're waking up choosing what fuels you. You stop labeling foods as good or bad and start understanding them as signals. Every bite you take is communication with your metabolism. Restrictive diets scream danger, nourishing foods whisper, you're safe, and your body listens. The secret to lasting fat loss isn't deprivation, it's cooperation, it's aligning with your body's natural intelligence instead of trying to outsmart it. When you feed yourself with foods that stabilize insulin, ignite thermogenesis and support digestion, you stop triggering survival mode. Your metabolism speeds up, your energy rises, and your body starts to release fat naturally. That's why this food works, because it doesn't fight your biology, it partners with it. You're not forcing your body to lose weight. You're helping it remember how. Once you start treating nourishment as communication rather than control, the struggle ends. You realize that fat loss isn't something you chase, it's something that happens when your body feels balanced, safe, and fully alive. The most powerful health changes don't come from drastic overhauls. They come from small, repeatable habits that quietly reshape your body over time. The good news is, using this fat, burning food daily doesn't require discipline, fancy recipes, or complicated meal plans. In fact, the simpler you keep it, the better your body responds. Consistency, not perfection, is what sends your metabolism the message it needs. You can trust me. You can burn freely. The first step is to make this food part of your daily rhythm, not an occasional experiment. Think of it as your metabolism's morning wake-up call. Including it in your breakfast helps set your hormonal balance for the rest of the day. When you start with steady blood sugar and a slight boost in thermogenesis, your energy and focus remain stable and your cravings stay quiet. You might mix it into a smoothie, sprinkle it over oatmeal, or pair it with protein like eggs or yogurt. The goal isn't precision, it's repetition. Every morning you include it, you're retraining your metabolism to stay active and balanced. Another simple way to use it is as a midday snack. Most people experience a natural dip in energy between lunch and dinner, and that's when old habits like reaching for sugar or caffeine sneak in. Instead, having a serving of this thermogenic food helps you stay alert and satisfied through the afternoon. It gives your body a second metabolic reminder, a gentle nudge to keep burning instead of storing. Some people even describe feeling an almost immediate clarity after eating it, as if their energy becomes cleaner, steadier. If you're someone who struggles with late night snacking, using this food earlier in the evening can make a big difference. Because it stabilizes insulin and balances blood sugar, it helps prevent that post-dinner craving loop that often comes from fluctuating glucose levels. When your body feels nourished and energized, it doesn't beg for quick fixes. You might find that you naturally stop thinking about food as much, not because you're forcing yourself, but because your biology finally feels calm. The beauty of this approach is that it fits into your life seamlessly. You don't need to weigh, track, or measure. You simply create gentle touch points throughout the day, moments where you remind your metabolism that it's safe to stay active. Whether it's breakfast, an afternoon boost, or part of your dinner routine, each time you eat it, you're reinforcing that message. The repetition matters far more than the amount. And while it might be tempting to look for immediate results, what makes this truly sustainable is how it builds. Each day of consistency compounds into the next. Over time, your metabolism becomes more efficient, your energy stays balanced, and your hunger signals normalize. You stop thinking in terms of on or off. The plan, because there is no plan, just a lifestyle that supports your biology instead of fighting it. It's also worth noticing how your body responds. Pay attention to small changes. Maybe you feel warmer after eating it, or you notice you're not crashing mid-afternoon. Maybe your digestion feels smoother, or you're sleeping better. Those small signs are proof that your metabolism is listening. You're creating a dialogue with your body, and every time you feed it well, it answers back with stability and strength. One of the best ways to make this habit stick is to pair it with something you already do every day. If you have coffee in the morning, add this food alongside it. If you prep lunch for work, include it in your meal. Habits grow naturally when they're anchored to existing routines. Over time, it becomes automatic, not another task, just a normal part of how you eat. The real secret is that you don't have to chase motivation once your body starts to cooperate. When your energy improves, when you feel steady instead of drained, your choices become easier. You start wanting to eat better, move more, and care for yourself, not out of guilt, but out of momentum. That's the beauty of working with your metabolism instead of against it. This daily practice isn't about restriction or control, it's about trust. Your body already knows how to burn fat. It's been doing it since the beginning of time. It just needs the right signal to turn that switch back on. When you nourish it consistently, you remind it that it's safe to release, to restore, to thrive. And once that process begins, the transformation doesn't feel forced. It feels like coming back to balance, one simple, sustainable choice at a time.